welcome. Bienvenidos. Sucio Talk, episode 15. We got Natalie and Manny Valerio. Natalie Roses is my cousin. Known her all my life. Super proud of her accomplishment of owning her own tattoo shop / eyebrow shop. Along with her husband, Manny Valerio, who co-owns the shop with her and is an amazing artist. I donated my whole right arm to this man. So all the work on my right arm is done by Manny Valerio. Check his Instagram out at Valerio Art, Valerio Art. He does crazy realist portraits that I'm astonished every time I look at him, and it's crazy talent. And my cousin has been making the most beautiful eyebrows I've ever seen, and also tattooing. And before that, she was a counselor at a high school. Gangster as fuck, talking purple hair, tatted up, helping inner city youth figure out their problems. And she was going to be big time in that. If she, I'm sure if she would have stayed in that field, she would have been, up there. But she always had an artistic flow to her. You know what I mean? Even when she was a baby, she was in commercials. She's always singing and always in the arts, always doing things like that. So it doesn't surprise me about where she's at today. And I couldn't be more proud of her and her husband's success. Like I think the world of them, and they become apart from family, my best friends, really. So yeah, the episode is called The Art of Art. But before we get into that story, we got some shout outs. Right. We got Michael Mullins. He wrote in to me and he said, Chef, I don't have the words to describe how much I enjoy your podcast. Being a Hyde Park grad and working in the business for the last 20 years, I always find common ground with every single one of your podcasts, even if it's not a chef. Thanks for your work, and I wish you continued success in this fucked up, crazy, beautiful, amazing place we call home. Thank you, Mr. Mullins Life, for writing that in. I appreciate all the love I've been getting. You guys are super good about messaging and letting me know. Somebody messaged me about audio issues. That's always good to know, because I have no idea. Sounds good on my end, could sound like shit on yours. I got figure that out. I want you guys struggling out there to get your Sucio Talk fixed. You know what I mean? Shout out to Truffle Shuffle as well. They've been doing some great things, and if you haven't already, you should get a kit and cook together with Truffle Shuffle. All right. Recently, I think a couple milestones in my book. I'm not speaking for them. A couple milestones in my book is I see my boy Tyler hanging out with Snoop Dogg. Doing cooking classes with Snoop Dogg, and then he does a cooking class with Raekwon the chef from the Wu-Tang Clan. And the first concert I ever been to in my life was Wu-Tang Clan in Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island. And that show was off the hook. And I remember one of the things that I saw was the chef of Lupo's, right, the cook, whoever that was. He was wearing a chef coat, like a sort of a dishwasher jacket. And he's standing at the bar, and, the music's going hard. He's bobbing his head. He's going. he's going. Everybody in the crowd's going. Everybody lit up their joints. We're all smoking in this club, and and I'm 18, and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And Tyler's right next to me, and I look over, and the cook had taken, basically was like a hanging down lamp, right? He was swinging on the lamp, just going wild, and the whole place was just, the energy in there was wild, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to this day, and it was because of that concert that I started going to other concerts. Because before that, like when you grow up in Meriden, Connecticut, ain't nobody fucking going to concerts out here. You know what I mean? I didn't even know really what that was. The only live music I ever seen was mariachis at a Mexican restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So it was a pretty cool experience. And to see that years later, Raekwon, who I respect and love as a rapper, is cooking along with Tyler and Jason and Truffle Shuffle. So shout out to them. And thinking about the Wu-Tang makes me think about this dude, Nephi Craig. Nephi Craig, what up? He's a Native American that came over to our restaurant, the restaurant in Meadowood, and hung out with us for a couple weeks there, and just the coolest motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just the coolest dude, down to earth, skateboard, into Wu-Tang, and I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I've always wanted to come spend some time with him at his reservation and just hang out and learn a little bit about indigenous cooking. So shout out to Nephi Craig, and if you hear this, give me a call. I'll give you a visit. We'll do a podcast. So Truffle Shuffle, Snoop Dogg, Raekwon, Tyler, who I know loves the Wu-Tang. I love the Wu-Tang Clan, and I only really knew about the Wu-Tang Clan, right? He knew about all the solo albums. The Liquid Swords, Only Built for Cuban Links, all those great albums from Raekwon and Ghostface Killah and all them. And I had only known the Wu-Tang, right? Them all together at that point. So shout out to Tyler for hooking me up with that music. And so I can only, I'm so proud of him for being able to work with these people that he's been a fan of his entire life, And that's all the shout outs for this week. I get too sentimental on Sucio talk over here. So I hope everyone enjoys their week. And I leave you with this episode. Again, episode 15. Natalie and Manny Valerio. The Art of Art. If you ever are in Connecticut and want to get a tattoo, definitely go see Manny and Natalie. They will hook it up for sure. And I forgot I wanted to mention something. I thought it was cool that I was able to do a podcast while getting tattooed. She did a tattoo on me while I'm sitting in front of Manny, and we're sort of going through his whole story and her story and how they met and their year that they spent traveling in an RV all over America and staying at these crazy places. Just cool fucking people. You know what I mean? With goals and people that want to make meaningful things and meaningful art. And you got to think about it when you think about tattoos. Somebody's putting something on your body forever. I mean, you can get tattoo removal, but that looks like shit. All right, I'm sorry. Forever. So, and I mean, the first time I was getting tattooed by Manny, I was thinking I was going to get this small thing. He's like, no, we're going to cover like your whole forearm. And I was like, are you crazy? But after I did it, I just like couldn't stop looking at it for a couple days. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. And I like the feeling, and I like the camaraderie of hanging out with the artist and talking to him about, his struggles and how he sees the world, and watching a Netflix movie while you're getting tattooed. getting a different perspective on certain issues that you may have been thinking about. You know, there's nothing like having that camaraderie with a tattoo artist, because I can't think of anything else that you're doing for longer than 4 hours with a service technician like that. You know, you get your nails done, that's 30 minutes. That's an hour tops. But if you're getting tattooed, you're going to be there for 10 hours. You know, you start to really get to know a person. And if I were you and I was in Connecticut, I would definitely go get to know Natalie Manny Valerio at Sovereign Gallery in Greenwich, Connecticut. This is not a chef podcast, but that's okay because it's my podcast. All right? So with that, I leave you, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all. Thanks for the support. By the way, this podcast is number 46 in France. How that happened, I don't know. Thank you, Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Spotify. Thank you, Google. Thank you, God. I'll see you later. As you know, I think we're in episode 15, 16 maybe? I don't know. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even listen to this shit. So we're gonna have to, he's on it. He hasn't listened to it yet, but it's okay. So I'm sitting here in Sovereign Gallery, which is his tattoo shop, his and my cousin Natalie Rosas. They got married how long ago now?
Married back 2015.
2015. 5 years strong. Now going into your 6th year of lovely marriage. So congratulations. All right. So
Awesome.
I don't see many other young people making it past the 5 years. So you guys already got one accolade under the belt.
Yeah. And that's 5 years married. We've been together since 2013.
2013, all right. So, wow, 7-8 years. That's that's commitment right there. You got your own business now, so obviously you've been moving the ball down the field a little bit.
Definitely trying.
But let's take it all the way back to your roots to kind of get to know your journey and know how you got to go where you are today. I'm also getting tattooed at the same time. Natalie is currently drafting up the tattoo. It's gonna read Sucio. It's gonna go on my right arm. That arm is dedicated to Manny and her. Manny gave me my first tattoo.
That's good. So she's showing me the stencil right now. She's just making a hand stencil.
I might do it again just because I'm such a perfectionist.
That's all good. Take your time. Take your time. She's tattooed a lot of people in my life, and he has as well. Chef Kat, you tattooed. Yep. Chef John. Did you do Chef John? Not yet. He was. I think he was gonna get something.
Definitely trying to set something up, but I had done Dorn.
I got you.
The owners.
Yeah.
Dorn in the stomach and homies.
So basically, the way we were doing it was he would come to visit us, every couple years, and then we'd set him up with all our friends, and he'd do like 5-6 tattoos that week, and then get to spend time with the family a little bit. Got to spend a Thanksgiving with you, which is nice. You don't always get to spend a lot of time with family, but here we are. So let's go back. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from Dominican Republic.
Dominicano!
I was born there. I came here with like 3 or 4. And then I've kind of been drawing for my whole life. So even back then, my mother told me stories of like the fact that I couldn't speak English. So that was kind of like my go-to was just kind of drawing and being in the classes.
Kind of being the quiet kid.
Yeah. And they would be like, yo, I didn't know, like... They wouldn't know that I didn't speak English.
Okay.
So they just thought I was quiet, but I was just sitting there just drawing, man. And
Got you.
Taking stuff in.
So you were born in DR?
Yeah, I was born in DR.
How old were you when you moved?
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Yeah, that's usually the same shit that happens. Why Connecticut?
We had an uncle who had moved to the city. I think he was like in the Heights.
Okay.
He was there in the 70s. And then slowly started moving out of it. So he went from the Heights to, I think it was like White Plains, and then Port Chester, and then ended up in Stanford.
Got you. I feel like that's what happened. Maybe Puerto Ricans and Dominicans got sick of the city.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we need to go somewhere where there's suburbs.
Yeah, switch it up. Less people.
Yeah, because New York was pretty rough in the 70s. Yeah. Going into the 80s. So until Giuliani cleaned it up,
Yeah.
He may be an enemy now, but back in the day, he was doing good things.
Yeah,